Well, sometimes things happen, you got to sit there in the awkward silence, waiting and saying, oh my gosh, I can hear myself think. Welcome in to the Dreamers Library. We're excited to have you. We're diving into another great book called Truthful. No music, then you can't hear me. Can your boy catch a break? Let me tell you what it is. Okay, welcome part two. Hello, Sam. Hello, Jay Neal. Hello, Libre. Hello, Nate in the building. What? All right, listen, dreamers of the library. Hey, we're gonna have an amazing show. We're gonna dive through this book. Uh, Apologies for the technical difficulties of sorts. You can see we are. You're trying to do things. No way, no way. You know this book. I ain't buying it. We're trying to get a little updates. We got a few of the slides changed, got some awesome content. I'm loving the new content that the content machine's pumping out. Libre over here is cranking out pieces. So the music didn't cut out. I was editing the PowerPoint. It was a mess. I actually want to make a different starting song. So I got to go in there again. And that's why I'm 30 whole minutes late. But the great news about Dreamers Library is, hey, you can come in, come out, and really 2-3 people lock in with us. Maybe it's Raylan, maybe it's Libre, maybe it's Mr. Scene. So this is normally a private thing anyway. So whoever's here is here. See, we got some YouTubers in the building. Shout out to you guys. Goodbye and hello, Jay Neal, Iris. Hello, hello, goodbye, goodbye. Nate. Okay. So music will be fixed, but we're improving. Did you see? At least I got to show you this cool graphic so you can see. I was brick by brick. This is how we play. And last week, I was like, man, I didn't even realize we're playing a slideshow from a book from a while ago. All of those things are outdated. This cover, that cover. So we're doing some updates and leveling up along the way. But this is the juicy graphic that we're working with now. Yes. And so we just got to get the music right. But yeah, now I look like Libre. Now I'm getting Libre level content. Yeah. Yeah, so we want to level up. We will level up, and look at that bad boy. So that's the book we're reading. I don't have the slipcover on it, but if you're looking at that, you got the OG of personal development, Napoleon Hill. You got Jeffrey Gitomer, who is the author of this book, and you can see you got Dreamcat here in like 6K with the book that we're reading. So I'm excited. Renewed, ready to go. Let me know in the chat if you're ready to learn some ish, okay? Now, as always, I'll be here with you guys. If you just want to, do your laundry and whatever you're doing and drive your car and all that, be my guest. But if you're ready to go up and you really want to put in the work, get yourself a copy of the books we go through, okay? So what we're going to do here is dive in. We're going to go through the book. We're going to talk about how to think. We're going to apply this to crypto where it applies, and yada, 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 where we really want to move closer to our dreams. If you're here, it's going beyond just like, oh, I'm in crypto. Like, we're here to transform our lives. I'm here on my Saturday night reading to you because it helps me to review. It helps me to teach, but I'm empowering my people, whoever that's going to be. If no one's here, which that's not true, but if 2 people are here, good enough for me. We continue to fine tune, get it ready. And when the time's right, then you try to get everybody there. And hey, everyone who got here early enough, filling you up. Hey, watch out, Libre. Thank you. But actually not watch out. You dropped 2 incredible bangers in the chat before it started. So anyways, I don't want to keep you guys waiting. I'm lingering. Someone new maybe here. Let's just start in, okay? Lesson number 3. Wait a minute, dudes. Bubba gum. In the building. Did I send you an invite? I don't want to say I didn't mean to, but this one I like, I know what it's going to be. It's not as crazy as the other ones, but if I did, dude, welcome. Always good to have you. So we're just going to briefly talk about how to think, okay? This is a shorter chapter. There's not too much to say, but there's always 1 or 2 profound nuggets that you can take away. So coming in hot here, a few things that stood out to me on page, what are we on? Page 47 of Truthful Living, okay? Chapter 3, How to Think. Here's a few things I highlighted. The chief reason that 95% of people are working for the other 5% is that the 95% do not know how to think. So right there off the bat, you want to be rich, you want to make your dreams come true. Well, hey, there's a lot of ways to do that, right? You could be the big boss, you can be the founder, the entrepreneur, the creator, the business owner, or you could get like a franchise, like save up some money through investments, get yourself a McDonald's and hire people. Or you could just be an investor. You can say, I know another way to make it in my life is take my money and make my money work for me. I'm not going to just trade all my hours for dollars. I'm going to put that money to work, and I'm going to get ahead that way and continue to pump the system, right? 95% of people don't think. The reason the wealth of the world is so unevenly distributed is that the masses do not know how to think while the classes do know. And I'm coming to you on this live as the classes. At some point in time, that's not going to be the case. I am one of the biggest dreamers in the world. But look, something that what the elites of the world want is they want to keep you dumb. I'm here to empower anyone who's willing to see. The thing is you can tell people the roadmap. You can tell people what to do, but it's not sexy. It's not automatic. It's not overnight. And so most pass. Oh, good luck with that. I don't want to do that. I need some security, right? I need some security. Well, who's going to pay my insurance if I just chase my dreams? You play it at your pace, but the world doesn't want you to know this. I do, and that's the difference. So when the time comes, please don't say I switched up or anything. Timelines will change, but I've always been passionate and say, man, I started, maybe where some of you can relate, never had money, eating at food pantries, stuff like that as a kid, always wanting more out of life and just saying, how do I do it? No mentors, no, there was nothing like this even. I didn't even know where to start. I just Googled, how do you make money online? I didn't know anything. Then I had to go through the gauntlet, but now we're here and you're a dreamer and you're here too. So anyway, guess who else is here? Raylan in the building. The only person who's totally fired, I saw Bubba Gump giving out executive orders. So Cody is taking time off. What the heck? He's on it now. We're joking. He's on a date with his lady tonight. And we were joking around the Telegram, and Cody's like, yeah, I'll catch you guys. Have a good one. I'm hanging out with my girlfriend tonight, taking her out to dinner. Chad thing to do, by the way. And Bubba's like, I didn't approve this time off. If you don't come back tomorrow, mister, you're fired. So Raylan's in the building. He's a dreamer. He shows up. He's committed to learning. Libre, we expect to see here often same way. The only person we're missing is Mr. Scene in the building. But Nate says, yo, give me the cheese, bro. I'm ready. I've been around the block. I've been looking around. But maybe I'm finally ready to invest my $1 in dream. Still don't have the buck, do you, Nate? Still don't have the dollar. You just don't believe me. But I love that you're here. I love that you've been in Web3 consistently for a long time. So cheers to you, okay? I'm not trying to be a part-time hater on you. Okay, so you got that idea, right? You got to think outside the box. The elites who run the world, I mean, they do. They think outside the box. They think differently. They think, period. Whereas most people, we react. So that's a difference right there. Put that in the chat if you're paying attention. Thinking versus reacting. Okay? Reacting is, oh man, there's something on the news. Oh man, there's a pandemic. What do we do? It's versus preparation, versus motion, knowing where you're going, planning for your future. Not saying, I wonder if my Uncle Steve can get me a job and whoever's hiring, that's where I'm going to work next. That's living a life without purpose and intention. You're dreamers. You got to say, man, how can I make my dream come true? Surely there's a pathway. Surely I can get everything aligned. Surely I can find the route to achieve my dream. Yes? Hey, no Diddy, Nate, but it's all love, bro. I tell people when they're, having a nice day too. So I appreciate you. Okay, page 48. Next little thing that made me say, ooh, I'm reading right here. It says thoughts defined. And it says, before we proceed further, let us define thought. Not necessarily as like a dictionary, but let's just simply break it down. He says this, in the first place, thought is the beginning of all wealth and all the mechanical or physical things created by man. So that's a little bit wordy, like mechanical, but thought is the beginning of all wealth and basically all manifestations created by man. Comes from thought. Thought is the source. The guy who wrote this book, this was 20 years before Think and Grow Rich. You know what he taught us? Thoughts are things. And the title of this chapter is How to Think. So guys, when you produce a thought, and again, this doesn't mean you need to be thinking in like, how can I create some car wash business? I need a thought and I need an idea. Don't get caught up in that. Your thought could be, how can I take this $1,000 that I have set aside, and what strategy can I apply to invest this in the meme coin space, in the crypto space, to get my target outcome of 100 grand or $1 million? Think, right? Think, strategy. Maybe I could there's so many ways to play this. I could take $500 and put that in my long-term bag. I'm going to chill. I'm going to take $100. I'm going to split it into 5 groups, $20, $20, $20, $20. And those are all going to be my little minions. And I'm going to put those in a runner. I'm going to put those in a few hot cats. And you move it all around. You think outside the box. Right now, a lot of people are logged off, reactionary, right? The masses reacting. Chart no go up, price no go up. Think about the dreamers. We've had other dreamers here. You know who they are, man. We miss them so much. You're always welcome back. But you'll never be able to be a true diehard believer. You'll say, I always believe, but the real believers, they stay in the field. Some people disappeared. Why? Because they're reactionary. If you show up and you listen to what we're saying, I did a space today. We got a podcast set up next week. Man, that's just the motion of the ocean. And that's always at our paw prints, at our fingertips, at our paws. Podcast set up for next week. Awesome space. Man, we're talking to Crypto Fan. It was a really good one. If you were listening to that, you see, you understand. Thought is the beginning of all the wealth and the physical things created by man. Dreamcat was a thought. Dreamcat is a big idea. Dreamcat is a well-timed seed in the world, okay? Planted before its time. People don't care about the dream. People don't care about real projects. People don't care about long terms. People aren't thinking decade. They say, what's the ticker of the week? What's the ticker of the month? When moon? When Bitcoin 200K? When XRP $589? When? They aren't thinking. We're thinking. The Dreamcat vehicle is I'm getting too hypey, but it's just true. All right? So there you go. There's a little bit there. All right. Now, we're just going to fly on through. And there's one big idea that we really want to hammer home in here, okay? So page 49. Let's see, crypto is one segment. Let me see what I notated on. Pick a topic or an area of focus, one segment. Crypto Dreams Christmas. Okay, I got this. So now, on page 49, what he's explaining, and this was talked about on the space ground earlier. So if you want to be successful, right? This is one of the life principles that is a deep challenge, is what it's going to require for greatness, if you don't want to fall in the mediocre bucket, is focused attention. This is a challenge, especially if you're very passionate, especially if you don't know, you really like to do 2 or 3 different things. So the dream really is finding something that you can put your energy and attention into, right? He gave a few examples. He named people that you may know or you may not know. Andrew Carnegie was like mega billionaire from back in the day in the steel industry. Rockefeller, you still hear his name today, mega bajillionaire, right? He names a bunch of different people, Alexander Graham Bell, a few people you wouldn't maybe know. Airplanes. He says all these people, basically what they did is they selected the subject, airplanes, steel, oil, whatever, on which to think about, and they mastered it and became wealthy in money. So they focused. I want to follow this. So like we're following it. Focus on topic, become master, position in opportunity, make big money. That's basically what he just said. Focus on the topic, become the master in something, expertise in something, right? For me, I wrote on the top, I said, man, this is one of my challenges right now because there's a few buckets. Maybe you can relate. What are your focuses? I know Raylan, actually, I don't know if I remember your 9 to 5 actually, but Raylan loves gardening. That's a side thing, right? So I don't think that's the career. I think that's the hobby. Libre, financial freedom for him. So for him, from what I see, it's a lot of focus in content on the side, right? Maybe it's building the content, building the brand, monetizing that way in the crypto space. For me, it's threefold, and I'm trying to tie them all together. So I have to get to that point. So it's crypto is the vehicle where we talk about dreams. So I got to go more into crypto. I'm half on the crypto way. I'm sort of a crypto guy. I got to be a full crypto producer and put the dreams within it. So now it's dreams and crypto is the vehicle, crypto and dreams. And then the other piece for me is Christmas. And then you could say like animation, imagination. These are all my passions. Crypto is the vehicle. And the job when I'm looking at this, because it's like dreams is simpler than dreams is like airplanes. Dreams is like oil. Dreams is like making the telephone. But you have to get through the process and eventually string it all together into one. You have to bring it all together into one. So that's something that I'm got to work on. Is this, I mean, maybe that was a little shaky. I could have explained that better, but does that make sense to you? Maybe you're in between two, like here, let's make it easy. If you're into two things that are totally unrelated and you're not winning, that could be why, right? So like if you are a mild supporter and you're in 4 different communities and you're like, man, I hang out with all my communities a little bit each time. Well, then you're a whole lot of average, right? This is why we talk about expertise. This is why we're making the idea of 1,000 believers in our community, because we're saying half-hearted just isn't enough, right? It's the main character efforts that move the needle, and they just compound and they stack. That makes sense. That makes success, right? The whole 1,000 believer philosophy. So that's what he's saying. Focus on the dream, vision, goal, master it, and you got to be on something hot. We believe we're here in crypto. So this is what I see. I said, man, we're going to use this vehicle, and it's going to be everything about dreams, and those other pieces fit into the dream. I see you, Nate. Hey, active MVP award. We may do some surprise giveaways. Sometimes we do. We don't like to announce them because then people come just for them, but you came to learn. I like your activity, man. If I see you in the comments, you might be a recipient of a bonus giveaway. We like to do those. We also ask pop questions for bonus giveaways, so pay attention. Okay, that wasn't the main stuff though. Don't worry, that wasn't the main stuff. I think there's 2 main pieces that are coming up. Okay, so side motion here. We want to talk about success. The difference between doing the work and getting results, okay? The chances are that you and I can succeed to just as great as an extent as all those OGs that we were just talking about upon 2 ifs. That's banking on 2 ifs. We can succeed just as well as them if we do these 2 things. Number 1, if we select the right subject to think about. So you need that ideal topic, right? You need that ideal vehicle. I think it's crypto. That's the topic that I'm focusing on, and dreams. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Am I? Do you guys have any, like, I'm trying to think of myself, but I might just be saying stuff. Like what I'm reading from the book is what it is, but this is why we do this. I'm thinking in real time. I think the main core would be dreams. Like my main thing is dreams. That's the dominating focus. That's the thing I've been talking about for 9 years. That's the thing I've like mastered. That's the thing that I know more about than anyone. I live it, I embody it. So I think that's my one. But I'm just making sure I get this right, because you have to select the right subject to think about. You have to pick the right subject. So you need some chief aim focus that you can focus on. The emphasis of this community is dreams and making them come true. You come here, you chase this dream while chasing your dream, becoming that person. So hopefully we got that right. The second if is if we think as accurately as these men did. Now, accurately is a little bit vague, and we'll see if they give us more information on this as we go. But those 2 ifs, he said those 2 ifs will tell the entire story versus success and failure. Okay, now here is processes. So they're telling you how to think. This is the first major big nugget here, okay? So if you showed up for anything, it's right here. First big thing, a thinking process. Concentration, okay? Concentration is another word for focus. This is a principle of success. This is something that you need to have, right? We talk about people do things for 2 years, they fall off. People do one thing, then they skip to the next, to the next, to the next. Find something that you can believe in. We say this, whatever it is, your dream, your passion, your career, find something you can get behind. Because if you can believe in it, you're willing to concentrate on it. You're willing to master it. You're willing to focus on it. And when you put all that added energy into said thing, you will see results. And that's what he's telling us. So he's saying, page 51, concentration. After you have decided upon a subject to which you wish to direct your thoughts to, the next principle you must make use of is concentration. We're going to speak on it very briefly. The chief essentials which must be employed in accurate thinking. Concentration. Yada, 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 yada. You can never become an accurate thinker until you have learned to concentrate the forces of your mind and direct them upon one subject until the subject is mastered. That is the quote of the day. I'm going to tweet it right now just to be multitasking. Pay attention. I'm going to read it to you one more time. This is the quote of the day. You're trying to succeed out there, right? You want to win. Well, listen, you can never become an accurate, I might not tweet that. Accurate thinker isn't a buzzword, but you understand it. You can never become an accurate thinker until you have learned to concentrate the forces of your mind and direct them upon one subject until the subject is mastered. You can never look, you can never become an accurate thinker. Let's rephrase that. You can never become a great thinker, a great mind. Like, we need to modernize that. You can never let's just cheat. You can never achieve greatness. You can never achieve greatness until you have learned to concentrate the forces of your mind and direct them upon one subject until the subject is mastered. So mastery, a clear focus, and without these, there is no greatness. Okay? I think that's good. I think that makes sense. Does that make sense to you? Does any of that ring? My TG account got deleted again, bro. Son of a cracker, Nath. You got to stop spamming people, bro. You gotta be I don't know. Don't spam, I guess. Don't say, hey, everyone, DM me. I think you say that a lot. You say, hey, guys, DM me. Risky business. Okay. Now, there was more to this. Okay, page 53. This is where I marked up a bunch of stuff. So let's continue to extract these nuggets. There's alpha here we can pull out. Bear with us here. I'm just going to read some of this in real time and pull it back out because I scribbled all over it. I must caution you, unless you form the habit of persistent concentration on the little routine things you do, you will not likely learn how to concentrate upon the bigger things. The extent to which you practice the habit of concentrating upon your routine duties for one day will probably give you an accurate estimate of your ability to concentrate upon the bigger things. That is clear cut. So it's a warning. The warning is, if you're not ready for the big leagues or you're still unsure, think about, if you want to start improving now and practicing the small things in life. Can you optimize them? Can you achieve them? If I'm looking at my life, I'm gonna say honestly, this is an area for improvement. Absolutely. Not every chapter is something I'm living in perfect. And I also want to remind you that we hear all the lessons. We learn all the things. But even Napoleon Hill himself says you don't actually have to do every single one. But if you're doing the majority, most do, They all overlap, right? That's why he interviewed 10,000 people and he came up with this list. And some of them did 80% of the things, 85% of the things, and they made it. And some of them didn't even know that they were the things. They just did it. So the person that we listened to today, I'm gonna shout him out, Crypto Fam Radio. I was very interested. This was a like-minded person. I think he has like a newsletter. He has some things that he does with other people. And what was he saying? He was saying one of his friends came up and he said, "Hey fam, did you read this morning? Did you read 15 minutes this morning? Did you do your stretching? Did you do your meditation? Whoa, that's kind of cool." Success-minded people have the same routines. I read each morning. I meditate each morning. I do visualizations and affirmations each morning. I do 5 minutes of gratitude each morning. Interesting. He talks about reading books. He talks about these morning routines, and he's kind of on the same frequency, right? When we talked, he said, "Man, I love what you're putting down. I can really relate to it." That's what we want to do, dreamers. We want to live the principles and become. And this becoming is a lot of what attracts success to you. A lot of people are looking for, just tell me the ticker. Tell me the ticker, give me the money so I can get rich. That is one way. But if you can become the person who carries the frequency, the vibration, the energy, the things that you do, the way that you move will make you an attraction for opportunity. You will have the eyes to see it as well. You will be able to identify opportunities for success. Your mind will find them. You still got to invest and do things, but it's a mix. It's a tango. And if you do accidentally get rich without the philosophies and the principles, a lot of times things get lost, right? All is lost. You blow it away again. Easy come, easy go. I can just make it all back. Gone. You missed it. You didn't realize. So I think that's good. That's something that I want to work on in my life. I don't know about you guys. So it basically says, again, do this. Let the small routine things be your test. So today I failed, right? Today I should have been here at 9. I should have had the song that I wanted to play, but we still move forward. So fail forward, right? Fail forward, do your best, but then realize, hey, when I give it attention, this is how I can lock in further. How can I lock in my small routine? That's going to help me lock in on that big routine. Now he said this whole page is what I marked up a lot. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Thought that his follow writing is just as much in transformation. I'm going to read a little bit here. This is very, very wordy, so I'm not even going to read it to you. But basically, he says, writing is one of the greatest aids for acquiring the habit of concentration. So instead of reading you the long version, I'll just tell you this. A lot of thoughts fly around in your head. Good intentions. You have plans to do things. You intend to do good. You say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I want to do this. Oh, we got 20 noties. Let me see what I can retweet. Pump this stream to more dreamers out there. Man, Coiny's up in the building, just smashing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 comments, and he's not even here. He speaks Korean. What a Chad. Love that energy. Love that energy. Coiny dropping cement. Dang, it's all him. Ooh, he made a new drop. Cool. Sorry. Howdy, legend. Pull up for the real deal. Bubba Gumsky. Libre, I can't retweet these, bro. You do this to yourself. Everybody look at the screen. Libre does this to himself. He debuts. Like, I get it though. He wants, like, I just feel bad that I steal your credit. He drops absolute bangers in my comments. So if I just retweet it, it's like taking some of the flair and excitement away from a dynamic, incredible piece of content. This isn't, look, it already got 3 likes. This is amazing. This is the kind of content that I want to build, right? Stuff like this. But shout out to Libre, man, making some bangers, casting the vision. Empires are not built overnight. By the way, let's pause for a second because, you know, normally we have this public, so we're not going to like dance around and entertain you as crazily. We want it to be fun, but usually the people who are going to be here understand the drill. So let me just talk on this for a second. When we have the dream vision, right? You see this content. Let's just talk about something for a second. We are not a true meme. Dreamcat doesn't have a meme. Dreamcat represents ideas, energy, things that you're drawn to, right? Maybe you want to be around this environment. You want to get around an environment of people chasing their dream. It's an energy. It's a representation. It's someone that you may like. Dream needs a personality. So when we're thinking about it, if we want to kind of evolve further, we have to think about different frameworks of content creation that can be digestible, that can catch wind. Because we've done something in reverse. Meme coins have a famous meme that happens, and then they go to the field, and everyone has heard and seen said meme, and so they buy it because they recognize it. We are inversing things instead. So we say we've created the infrastructure, we know what we want to do, but our challenge now will be creating things that can catch wind. Yes? So that is where the experimentation comes from. This piece of art right here is just one variation, and it's more like kind of just like it's cool, right? So this is something that maybe people would reshare on their Instagram stories. I would, if I think the cat's cool, like I may reshare this on my stories. That's one way. But another way we can do is you can do like different themes of content, right? So it's some kind of punchline, or it's like I dream, and then there's like 30 different phases, right? And it's I dream this, and one of those goes viral, or he makes a face, or like, so you think about the ways that you can go mainstream. And sometimes it may just be consistency of building stuff that's so attractive, so incredible, and in the Web3 space that just from cool factor alone, it can be a 10, 20, $30 million project. So just want to say that to you guys. That is something we absolutely have to do. We're sort of like a shell of what we do. We're still in the crypto realm. You know, we're building our content is cool, but stuff like that can be mass marketable. That can have some more impact. That can reach people. What is shareable, right? If you're not a Dreamer fan, this is how we want to create content. If you know nothing about Dream, you want to be able to like the content and consume it anyway. So how would that be possible? Well, if there is a saying, that'd probably be content that has words in it, right? So the OGs who are already in can tap in and like what they see. But that kind of content, right? A saying associated with imagery is something that can be mass marketable. When I see content, sometimes there's other different little characters, but I share it because the imagery, because it looks cool, or because of what it's saying, and it relates to dreams. So Libre, you're a big content creator. I feel like you already do this really well for yourself. Like I love what you're putting out for your own content. And you already do that, and a couple ones to make with Dream totally embody that. But this is something good for us to keep in mind, and this is a direction that eventually I want to take here as well. I was trying to write up, but I am missing what you were saying. Haha, no, saying that I hate random DMs. Nath over here, still in the comments. You know what, Nath? Respect, man. 500 Dream for you. 500 Dream. Let's see if you can win any more. I like it. Showing up for a while. You've already been here a while. And I feel like I'm not even being that exciting right now. Like I didn't prep all the things. There's no music playing. I'm not like in a big rant. So shout out to you guys. You are literally just in school for the life of your dreams. Salute. And I'm right there with you. I'm learning with you along the way. All right. So we said what we said. Back on track here. Writing out our thoughts not only aids concentration, but this physical action helps us make the first step towards the crystallization of thought into reality. Thought without persistent, concentrated action is useless. Okay, now we're talking. Bubba, you're still here? Dude, I thought you would have drove by because I was just being boring. Dude, now I gotta see, this is why I like comments. Like, I gotta be more of the entertainer so I can get the comments. Because when I know people are listening, now I gotta level up. I just thought Bubba's here still. I better stay on my game. School's a good thing. Man, the last Dream Talk was absolutely fire. Absolutely fire. So what was just said is very, very profound. Now, what I took from this, next line, okay? Here it is. Here's like the alpha right here. The next line says, your subconscious mind builds a mental picture out of the material that you permit to reach it. Wow. Your subconscious mind might be likened to a clay pot. It receives and records all that you permit to reach it through your five senses. It accepts information just as readily as it accepts facts. All right, we're going to pause. This is everything, okay? This is everything right in here. This is what we want to focus on, and this is what we want to draw out, because these are things I want you to understand. There is so much here. Let me know if you're following this, okay? Some of the things that we talk about as dreamers and the success principles are right here. When he says your subconscious mind, first of all, do we know what the subconscious mind is? For 500 dream, tell me what the subconscious mind does in the comments. Best answer and or first person will get 500 dream. Tell me realistically, and it's got to make sense, what the subconscious mind does, or how the subconscious mind works, or how it's different than the conscious mind. Like, you get it. Just give me some form of explanation. I'll give another 500 dream out. Okay. It says your subconscious mind builds a mental picture, a component of your mind. You tell me what it does. The subconscious mind builds a mental picture. It builds a visual in there based on what you're feeding it, what you allow in, out of the material that you permit to reach it. That means inputs create outputs. That means what you're listening to right now, I am feeding your subconscious mind. If you're doing your laundry, if you're gardening, if you're doing this, and you are catching like every little bit, right? I know how it is. You listen to a space and you take a shower and you half hear something. Like, I've done that. So if you're half-heartedly even paying attention, stuff that's going in, you're still hearing it even if you're not paying attention. That's entering your subconscious mind. So you want to make sure that the filter that has access to your mind, your confidence, your everything for your dreams is a positive. And now the reason that's also the thing that's also exciting is, if this is how it works, and your mind is the clay pot, and you can mold it to however you want, then you should control it. You should take it over. You should brainwash it. You should filter out all the negative. We've talked about this before. Who do you follow on Facebook? Do you get caught up in distractions? We talked about the importance of focus. I have things in my feed. I unfollowed everyone on Instagram. I'm creating a whole new one so it can be ultra focused. I unfollowed everyone. That was the season because I said, I love this friend. I'm looking at their dog. I'm looking at them out drinking, and I like them and their friend. But what is this doing for my life? I want to be obsessed. I want to make my dreams come true. The people who do are laser focused. I'm going to tell you a story, a side story, because you know why? I am in the environment that I'm telling you about. So I'm willing to tell you a story right now that I heard 2 days ago because it's in my ecosystem. What is in your ecosystem? What is getting in when you're not here? Maybe this is your hour a week, your 2 hours a week. And what's the rest of the time? What else goes in? News, right? I'm still aware of some news because of X, but some people watch the news every single morning. That is 1 hour a day of subconscious programming. What are you putting in? Fear, scared. Oh man, end of the world, aliens, war, murder. How can that make you feel good? And feeling was the secret, right? We're connecting all the dots. So let me tell you this story. It's about the subconscious mind. And is anyone out there okay, Iggy's taking a shot at it. He says, essentially brain programming. But you can program the brain through the conscious mind as well. So really, don't even Google it. If you know it, you know it. And if you don't know where he's either, I'll give you some if you're the only one who tries at it, and I'll explain it. So this is how we learn in real time. The difference, right? Your conscious mind and your subconscious mind are both brain programming, but there is a difference between the two. And the idea here is, Libre, is that everything is coming in. So screw it, I'll just tell you, we got to keep going. Conscious is what you're trying to pay attention to. Oh, look at that commercial on TV. I was trying to think of a jingle. I can't. Look at that commercial on TV. Look at that billboard. I'm paying attention to that. What he's saying is the clay of your mind is molded by everything. Subconscious is what gets through went without effort. Subconscious means one day you wake up and you feel bad and you don't know why. But unknowingly to you, before bed each night, you were scrolling on Twitter seeing fights, fist fights. This has come in my algorithm before. I've tried to change my words. Something else, streamers would come in my algorithm, like Neon and I Show Speed, and they're cool. It's interesting, it's content, but I'm like, this does nothing for me. This is leaking in stuff that I don't want to know about. It's stealing my focus. So I keyword block those fools now. Because it's like the lowest done. I Show Speed is a cool guy. I Show Speed is cool. But like Neon and who else are there? Aiden Ross, garbage content. Sorry, not sorry. Mindless stuff. That's like butthole coin level content. Don't want anything to do with it. So you got to guard what goes in. It's saying this is the clay. Mold it. Subconscious is what goes in when you're not paying attention. So if you're here listening to this, it's all going in. If you're going to a space and everyone's dropping, swears 24/7 and saying, do this, do blah, 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 you're going to be hanging out in a conversation and suddenly you're going to drop a swear. And you're like, whoa, I don't even swear. That's so weird, because it was programmed in. You were receiving it. So what he's saying now with all that crap, I'll still tell you guys the story. He says, it's not the conscious mind, Iggy. It's not what we focus on that sticks with us. Because a lot of people, they consciously say, I'm a dream cat millionaire. They consciously say, I'm going to get rich. But that is just the surface. Deep down, what do they believe? Deep down, what does the subconscious programming say? The conscious says, I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm abundant, I'm escaping the matrix. But the subconscious would say, you ain't shit, dude. You're always going to be a loser. You say that, but you've been rugged 30 times. This is your third cycle. Like, you keep telling yourself that, but deep down, you're going to be a wage slave for the rest of your life. You know that. Why are you kidding yourself? That little devil on the shoulder. That means if that still exists deep down, it's like a block, right? It's a block on the whole motion and movement. It can't move forward. It's like contradictory. It's like water. It's like trying to start a fire and having the hose on it. Or it's like water and fire can't really coexist, right? They just kind of like make smoke. They make steam if they go at each other. And that's what it's like. So like you're either trying to like get a stream flowing, or you're trying to start a fire and you're just making smoke, because they're blocking out. They're interfering. So you want to align the conscious and the subconscious. So now I know I'm breaking this down like 100 times over, but what he's saying is, it's actually your subconscious mind, the deeper version of you, the inner thoughts that shape the mental picture out of the material that you permit to reach it. Okay, that got wordy. But what I wrote is provide mind with visual and verbal ammunition. That is what I wrote. So my forms of brainwashing, my subconscious, we've reviewed before, a vision wall, right? Staring at your dreams. That means as I'm going in my room, I'm looking at my TV, but my eyeballs are still seeing the travel destinations I want to go, Iggy, right? My eyeballs are still seeing it. I'm not focusing on it, but they're still seeing it. You have subconsciously programmed my decisions in life. Now I got examples. Here they come. This is for Bubba, because he said, boring? Come on, man. How many types of movies are there? Action, comedy, thriller. They're all entertainment. I'm here for entertainment, he says. Good. Well, here, the stories are the best. This is where it really hits. Here's how I was subconsciously programmed to buy a burger from Five Guys today. Story time. 3 days ago, Libre made a post. He said, smash or pass. He's exploring new content. He's doing a new series, and he's posting his eats. Today, he ate a taco. I'm overly invested in Libre's life, but I got to be careful because he has influence on me, right? If I'm trying to be a fitness influencer, which I'm not, if I'm trying to lose a lot of weight, shoot, I might have to mute some of Libre's posts because they might affect me. I saw his post about a burger 3 days ago, and I said, man, I like this. And then I posted a picture of my burger from Five Guys. He posted Smash Burger, and I went my camera roll, and I posted this really good burger that I had in London. Actually, one of the best burgers I've ever had, and best fries that I ever had. In London, I was the first customer of the day, by the way. Life hack. If you want really good food, just show up early and be the first person of the day. I posted that. I'm like, man, Five Guys, I'm craving it. And then what happened today? There was another exposure. Someone else, there was a second exposure today about a burger. That was 2 days ago. It came up today. I was craving Five Guys 2 days in a row now. And I forget what it was. Someone was talking about it. We did the Dream Talk stream. We showed food. We showed chicken, breaded chicken and red sauce, chicken Parmesan. So anyways, I bought a burger today. I went to Five Guys and I bought a burger. I've gone to Chipotle a few times. I realized that YouTube ad comes up over and over again. I've seen it 20 times. And then I'm going to comment on Peanut's post, Chipotle ambassador, Chipotle ambassador. And I go to Chipotle and I think it's like oh, I'm just in the mood for Chipotle. No, I was subconsciously programmed. So I think I'm just going, oh, I just feel like sleeping in. You got to trace back where the ammunition comes from. It all comes from somewhere, right? I went to Chipotle because I'd seen the ad 20 times. And I said, I'm craving Chipotle, because repetition breaks through the subconscious mind. So now he's saying, hey, if you want to break into your subconscious mind and you want to use a strategy of focus and concentration, take all the ingredients that serve you to focus and concentrate on the dream or the ideal destination. That's where the obsession comes in. That's where you're listening to podcasts. When we're rating, our content is positive. You read the rate and it doesn't say butthole's the ticker. And if you don't have a butthole, then get your butthole. Sorry to be a little bit, PG there. And if butthole is out there, I'm mooning this thing. I got to change the name, because I just, all the few weeks, I've just been like, this is the clever little coin. I don't even know if it exists. I just keep saying it. It's a degen level thing. If that's what you're reading every day, that's subconsciously going in. Garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. What goes in comes without. And the life that you see today is a reflection of the thoughts and feelings that exist inside. So if we want to change the reality, the bullish thing about dream is you're reading, never give up on your dream, dream until reality. Belief is a core principle of achieving your dreams. You're Web3ing, working on your crypto bags and shaping that mind with positive things. So a vision wall, great way to brainwash yourself. What he said here is writing. He said, and I wrote, provide mind with visual and verbal ammunition. Say things, write things, you're hearing things. This is why I say, hey, type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. I'm trying to challenge you to make it tap in deeper. Okay, let's see. Let's see what Nate's got here. The subconscious mind acts as a high-speed data processor that manages everything. Is that AI? Sounds a little AI. I couldn't give you points for that. But it sort of is, but it's still pretty vague. Everything your conscious mind doesn't actively focus on. Yeah, so that would be the opposite, right? Subconscious mind is the things you don't even try. Like, they enter your mind without effort. So this is why we have to guard our mind. This is why we have to guard our hearts, okay? And what we do. You're saying it's not AI. Okay, I like it then. I'll give you credit for putting your attempt out there. But I pretty much already explained it now. So if you're moving forward, subconscious mind is everything that enters without effort. Things that are repeated emotionally, visually, through the five senses. All five senses with repetition and emotion. That is what seeps into your subconscious mind, which is why, one more tip, we say if we want to control this thing, if we want to make this thing a machine to give us what we want, we have to put the things inside that shape the beliefs, that give us the focus. So we say, when is the best time to program this, to program our mind for our dreams? 15 minutes before bed and 15 minutes in the morning. And I'm just going to shoot it to you straight and be honest. I don't do 15 minutes in the morning. I had so many routines. I don't do 15 minutes in the morning. I start it in a negative way right now, which I would say is like waking up, grabbing my phone, and probably making a GM post or replying to you guys in a Telegram. It's not the best way. The ideal way is go straight to the gym, put that audio in, and let it play and let it begin. But I do it at night. I have a piece of paper by my bed. It's my biggest dream. It says, what does it say? It says my biggest dream in the world, or it says my chief aim in life. I copied this from Napoleon Hill in our first book club, Think and Grow Rich. It says my chief aim in life is to build blah, 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 blah in the world. And then the second part says, in order to make this possible, I need to obtain X amount of dollars. The vehicle is this. And then I say something along the lines of, I'm just going to go get it. I'm just going to go get it. Home court advantage, baby. All right. This is the backside of water. Does anyone know that joke? For 250 dream. No, that's too little. 1,000 dream. Where is that joke from? This is the back side of water. That's what you're looking at. Okay, just doing a quick comment check. Okay, so we got 750 for Nath, 250 Iggy. All right, this is my piece of paper. So we're talking about programming your subconscious mind. I do this. So I'm doing my best to act on what I'm telling you, okay? This is a page I've ripped out of the book, Think and Grow Rich. Occasionally, I read this page as well. That is a part of the full formula. But the one that I've been doing lately, because I've been having some trouble sleeping, is just the one. And so it says, my definite purpose in life is to build blank. And the next line says, to make this a reality, I need this many dollars. I have 2 years to get this done. Doing this will get me started, but the money can come from anywhere. Every night, I imagine and feel my wishes fulfilled, and then I fall asleep. All I have to do is dream up this reality. So I am using strategies to attempt to infiltrate my mind, my subconscious mind, each night before I go to sleep. I've had wild dreams before. Those dreams always have a source, right? Oh, I dreamt up this friend who I haven't seen in 10 years. But guess what? I saw their Facebook post close to bed on Facebook. And that's why they showed up in my dreams, right? It enters in. So you can use these tools to try to manipulate your own mind for what you want before you go to bed and when you wake up. This is when there's a gap, there's an opening. So if you can do that, that's how you build bulletproof belief. That's how you believe in yourself. The brainwashing. That's how you, if you're something that you're not, this is how you become. Like if you're a person who's super shy and you're an introvert and you don't want to be, you could lie to yourself for a really long time. Write out a phrase, brainwash it in. I used to be this, but now I am the most confident, outgoing man in the world. When I have conversations, I'm the last one to stop talking, right? Like whatever, it's just a random example, but brainwash, okay? All right, that's good, that's good. Let me get to the two stories. I told you guys about the burger. The second story was a guy named Joe Alexander. Joe Alexander was the 8th pick in the 2008 or 2006 NBA draft. I think 2008 NBA draft. Same one as Derrick Rose, maybe. He was the 8th pick to the Milwaukee Bucks, Joe Alexander. Joe Alexander got to the NBA all from the mental game. Now, that's a lie because he was extremely athletic. But listen, he knew, and this all makes sense. Let me explain. This is for anyone who knows pro athletes, listen to how this worked. He overperformed. He overachieved. He was not as talented as the LeBron Jameses and these other people, but he believed. He built his own mind into a machine, and this confidence was so crazy that it just stacked and stacked and stacked. And so what his talent was is he was a freak athlete. He trained his body well. He was super athletic, and he used the athletic ability combined with the mind. And he basically convinced himself, I'm the best there is. I don't care what the odds are. I do the work. He focused on his dream. He said, in order to do this, I mean, this actually gets extreme. It would be a hard thing to do, but he said, in order to do this, his recommendation is basically punt away your entire social life. So he said, in order to become a professional athlete, I just had to laser in so deeply, so extreme that all I would do is like work out, train, get better or whatever. And he, by the way, he was a late bloomer. I like to take pride in saying I'm a late bloomer too. I was in basketball. I was cut from the 7th and 8th grade team, but I was the second best player in my entire high school by senior year. right? Winning awards, shooting in the 3-point contest, like come up, late bloomers, right? So he was the same way. He out of high school, he had no D1 contracts. He went to some random school and became a lottery draft pick, which is huge. Now, here's the thing. He programmed his mind. He did all this. He maximized his potential, and he got drafted. But now I understand. I heard him talk. He's out of the NBA. He was in the NBA for a couple years, 2 main seasons. 1 season for like 50 games. Then he played for the Bulls the next year for like 10 games. Scored 4 points. Like, didn't transition well. But I know exactly why. Because he never fully, like, okay, you just got to, sometimes the game doesn't translate over. But this is what I heard that was interesting to me. He said, I was never supposed to be there. He had this internal belief, like I was never the Kobe, I was never the LeBron. Like in his mind, he knew he overachieved. And that may have been at the end what cost him. Was it imposter syndrome, right? Oh, like I finally made it, but I don't really belong here. This is why, dreamers, we're building ourselves. Because if you want to become like, look, we want to become a $1 billion project. Bubba and I don't know if he's still here. We talked about this, right? Bubba, you shared this. And I would actually like to, over time, if we get together again, work on sharing this belief with you. So we talked about, I won't share the specific numbers, but we talked about realistic ceilings for meme coins, right? What's possible for them? There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of, different projects out there, what they can do, what they can reach. There's, I don't know, like certain things really mooned way back when it was just Doge, there's competition. So what do we believe is possible for said meme coins? What do we believe is possible for DreamCat or other projects, right? What is conceivable? This is very, very important to build this belief. So if this ceiling that you believe is possible for, say, the project that you're working on is one level, can you play the mental mind game to realistically reshape this belief to believe it's at another level? Because if you don't believe it's possible at that level, you will operate based on the thermostat, right? So let's just say you believe, I'm just going to use a random example here. Let's just say you believe Ninja Cat's ceiling is 100 million market cap, right? And you will do things that position you or make it possible to, get along that way. Or if you get close, you'll kind of pull back or you'll draw back or you won't evolve further because you'll be like, yeah, like 1 million in my mind, like that's the max. This is why, dreamers, we set delusional big dreams. You shoot for the moon and land amongst the stars. So something that we've done, at least here in DreamCat, is there are conceived reasons in my own mind. I can say it now here with absolute confidence, and you can use this visual as a gauge. People say, I don't always hear what you're saying, but like I feel it and I can sense your conviction. It's true. I have convinced myself, and actually I don't think it's delusional at all. I actually think it's realistic. I think DreamCat becoming a $1 billion project is not probable, it's not guaranteed, it's not the most likely scenario, but it is absolutely possible and something that I think if we dream into a reality and enough people buy in and we get a lucky break here or there, can absolutely happen. Absolutely. And I actually think much bigger than that. And maybe I can believe in a $1 billion market cap because the paper that I read each day talks about DreamCat being a $100 billion project, right? That's the delusional one. I don't believe in that yet, but I program it in my mind. So when I realize I shot 100 times higher than the goal, right? The baseline goal is $1 billion. The like realistic, ambitious goal is like 10 billion. 100 billion is completely unconceivable. Heck, you're at 55K. You've never cleared 1 million, right? This is also a thing. You got to be realistic on top of it. Get to 1 million first, 5, 10. But you start with the dream and you match the actions to reach it. So the ceiling's important. Joe Alexander, he thought he overperformed. He knew he could get there, but he didn't maybe know that he could stay or he could be the best. And he dropped out quickly. So there, now I felt like that was good. I felt like I got on a winning streak and gave some heat there. So good. All right. Read that. Here's one more thing just to remind you of. Thought without persistent, concentrated action is useless. So if you this is why we need to do the repetition and focus it, because you do it over and over. If you do it for a while, maybe those are the people who flopped out of the Dreamcat project, right? There were people who pulled up and said, dude, what did the people say? What did the people say? Oh my gosh, this is going to billions. I'm dollar cost averaging every week. We're going to retire. This is my number one project. We're going to the moon, blah, 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 blah. The excitement faded. It went away. Persistence. Was there persistence? Why did their belief fade? Because their belief was never built on anything. It was built on what they saw. When they showed up at an exciting time, the price was going up. The price going up caused other people to get excited. Remember, in the dream, we will need to do things that get attention. We will need to push forward with momentum. But the way that we're going to do it is we're going to reverse engineer it. So if you're already here, you're already a dreamer. You've seen enough. Like, you're here. If you're listening to this, dream's been trading in a low place for a while. So if you're here, then I'm going to trust that Raylan, Bubba Gump, obviously he's seen another project, but Raylan says he's seen another project. Bubba Gump is a dev who we love in Ninja Cat. He supports us almost more than our own community members sometimes. And he's a dev in another project. Impressive. Salute to him. I would say Raylan, Libre, people I see. Nate, it could be you if you lock in, but it might not be for you. You want to trade your way to riches. That's possible too. But I'll just say Libre and Raylan. Okay, if you know and understand this, it's knowing that we saw why all those people fell off, because their stimulus for excitement was what they saw. Can you, dreamers, if we're using the principles, remember, everything comes from within. Can you get excited? If you understand that these principles work, if you understand that we're using the principles and it's only a matter of time, then can you show up each day with the peak excitement without seeing? If you can, this is what will create the reality. Now it's hard because we don't have numbers, right? So maybe it's Libre is going ham every day, Coiny's going ham. We see Raylan. Like, I don't want to exclude people, but we'll just be real. Libre and Coiny go harder than anyone, right? They're the craziest dream energy you could see. Lots of people support us. There's many different levels. This isn't a shot. This isn't anything. We love all our dreamers. There's a different place for everyone. But okay, if we're going to say those are the two people who are bringing like peak, extreme dream level, make dreams come true energy, like matching my just regular show up, because I'm dev, I'm supposed to go harder, then, okay, that's 3, right? What has to happen is that has to be maintained. That energy has to be kept, and it can be, because maybe these people believe in some way. They're willing to show up with the excitement and energy without the proof. This is what will create it. This is what will create it. And if we create the dream infrastructure moving forward based on this is how we prevent 90% drawbacks. This is how we prevent 90% drawbacks in this way. Because it's not built on the hype. People don't need to sell when the doubt loses. They hold because they believed before they saw. And this is why the dream can work. This is why the dream can differentiate itself, because the big thing with crypto is it's all backwards. Everything moons and it goes down. We'll go through our cycles. We'll have some ebbs and flows. We're kind of hanging out at 55K market cap. That's like our sort of floor right now, generally speaking. Some people are DCing in every day. But it's essential for those who come in next to get this. This is why, talking on Coiny again, it's cool because he got here. He came in the dream way. So like we tricked Libre. No, Libre actually did too. Libre came in before he saw anything, but it gave a nice pump because he got a padding on his bags, which reinforced the belief. Coiny's never seen that. This is why Coiny is will be, if he, I think he will. I think he will. I mean, if we show up, he'll show up. I think he can be a valuable dreamer because realize he's come in with the principles. Coiny was already like how I am. Some of you have been introduced to these principles here in the dream for the first time. Amazing. You are becoming the product. Coiny became the product on his own. He already read the books. He says he listens to provocative things. You see all the stuff he types? You see all the ideas? What is this topic about? How to think. How to think. he does, look at him. He's a great example. He does thought-provoking posts every day. He's always thinking, human consciousness, human ability. I was just thinking this. I was just thinking this. His mind is always firing away. The dreamer's mind is full of thoughts and ideas because they're thinking, they're applying it. So his thought process is so valuable because he's coming in with the chart been chilling for a year. How is he? He's dollar cost averaging every day. You don't have to do that extreme. Dude, shout out to him. Dollar cost average every single day. He was a huge holder in another project. That got, he's waiting for a relaunch on that. That's tough, but still dollar cost averaging every day. He's a believer in something. This is our frequency, guys. This is our frequency. Some of you are welcome to be exposed to the dream and become it. But imagine how it's going to impactful it's going to be for people who already know this stuff and understand. If we become a magnet and we project this energy, and it's starting to happen actually. We're starting to find other people who are aligned. Like shout out to J-Dog. J-Dog is like, man, flexing. I never knew it was that high. Whale talk. Cool, cool, cool. Check this out. Iggy says he's flexing now. You better keep your security tough, Libre. I saw $50,000 in my dream wallet at one point. It'll be a lot more one day. Man, see, that's the belief. 50, and I know it's much lower now. You know, it's down maybe 14x, and that can be tough. A lot of my bags are too, but that's where belief comes in, man. We talked about the Bitcoin thing. That was the thing, right? Bitcoin, if you had $100, it turned to 1,000 and 23,000. Then it came back down to like 2,000. Then it was 700K. Then it was 50K. Then it was 2 million. You had to be willing. As dreamers, the same thing will happen. How crazy will it be for you, Iggy, if the 50K is 1 million? Now, obviously, we know about liquidity, right? And so, by all means, whatever you guys want to do it, by the way. It's all on you. If we get to new all-time highs and all the OG dreamers just want to exit, I doubt that. But if they did, I would say that's okay. Do it, please. What we want is belief. This is how we must build. We must build belief because this is the only way we will sustainably get big. If we can prevent these drops that happen for most people, then that's how we can actually become great and like change the identity of meme coins. Meme coins are slandered because they go up and go down. Even the greatest ones, because 80%, 90% of the market is playing the seasons. We're painting a decade-based vision, and it can be even bigger than that. It's just like, let's just look forward to at least the decade, not get too ahead of ourselves. So if we can do that, we're going to have a cycle, right? Obviously, more money comes in, maybe you're already invested. A lot of my bags, I have enough for now. Let's just let it play out. I get that. So what's going to happen is it's going to continue to cycle through. It could get lower still. It could go down and down. That could happen. It could go higher still. It's all about the energy and efforts. But a couple things. Number one, it's going to cycle through, meaning people are going to take profit. But once the supply, what we want is supply shock, right? People can keep flying through it. They can burn through the liquidity. You got to make motion to get more liquidity. You got to get more money to keep the game going. But as it changes hands from trader, from opportunist to, you know what, I'm up big. Let me take my 20x right here. And it gets in the hands of the people who can believe in the vision that we're casting. Billions. Largest community of dreamers in the world. A dynamic, an influencer of the likes of Mickey Mouse. It's a vision. It could go on for 30 years. You may leave after 3, but just hold on to your dream. See, if you're here and I can implant the belief into you, I'm not even saying put your life savings in. I'm saying even if you put in $20 today and you do nothing for 20 years, I don't know what would happen. But that's why I'm excited to say it's 55, 56K. This is the greatest investment in the world. Not financial advice, okay? Do everything you want to do. Meme coins are volatile. You can't make promises. We don't know anything. But this is my belief that I'm projecting upon you based on what I understand. Now, the way I just draw it all out, that should make sense. That should make sense because I know him. I know I'm speaking sense. That's why we're so powerful. But we got to be able to build the beliefs first and project them. And this is what will create it. So keep that in mind as well. A lot of people show up when things get exciting. We're going to see some more action when some more buys come in. It doesn't mean they're less of believers. I do that too with some things. But do you want to be one of the 1,000? And even if you're not going to be as extreme, like I saw Raylan come in here and say, like, man, I got to admit it, man. Like you're not, making fun of me or anything, Jeannie, by saying this. It's true. You can tell the difference between massive action, right? I'm not saying really that has to be you. And if you're not a believer. You are one of our biggest believers. You have bought multiple times. Your belief shifted as price got lower. I appreciate everything you bring to this community. I love chatting with you. I love that you're here. So I always want to balance what I say because I don't want people to feel like, oh, if you're not crazy, then you're not like, no, not at all. It's just levels to the game. It's understanding that energy creates results, right? Creation. And here's the second thing I'll say. I'm on a rant tangent. The second thing I want to say is right now, if Dream has been chilling for pretty much a year, right? This is the thought. This is what can empower you. That is because I am the catalyst, the main catalyst for price pumps at this time. That is why Dream is what it is. Because I've been saying, hey, we're going to, if you don't understand it, right? I don't know if you understand it or not. Like when I'm still putting out posts, there's different levels of energy. That's a form of autopilot. So you see me posting, you see me doing Dream Talks, and outsiders are saying, man, they're not getting it. It's not going to work. Because we understand we're not doing the actions. I know how the price came before. I know what makes it happen in the future too. So if all that's happening in Dreamcat is it's waiting for me, how can we change that? That's where I'm just going to give to the deepest dreamers here, share a point of view. The way that we'll become extremely dynamic, the way that will really change the game, and this would be the challenge is, can you take what actions can create new fresh buys without me? Because I would say everyone here serves as an amplifier, right? Maybe you onboard someone along the way. Some people do that. But it's the retweets, the comments on the raids, the engagement, the content are amplifiers. They're amplifiers. But really to make a sale, to engage someone comes from some contact point, right? It's something deeper. It may do things like subconsciously, like Libre, I love your movement, right? It's you post, you use motion, you don't hard shell dream, but you wear it on your chest every day. That is going to be huge when our price goes up. That's when it's going to be huge. All that pays off, baby. That's compounding efforts, baby. When there's a shift, all the work isn't for nothing. It's just waiting for a certain time. Now, the thing I see is, okay, so when we become more powerful is when the dreamers or the believers can become a source for new motion and new buys. Because now we're working together, right? You no longer have to wait for me. You no longer have to, what is Dev doing? I will do things and that'll be dynamic. But in order to get to the next level, I didn't know this was the training. Like this is like a dreamer training now for the biggest dreamers. In order, let's say we tick things up, we get to 1 million market cap, right? We're going to have motion and all those things. In order to go to the greatest levels, what we're going to have to buy into as dreamers is if you're one of those big believers, it's becoming the catalyst. It's growing and evolving. So Iggy, it creates. That's why he's believer number one. He's a perfect example of it. He's a creator in motion. So his things, if I'm not posting, he's still posting things each day that are positive, dream related. I can retweet him. That's helpful. But that is a potential catalyst of creation. He's meeting new people in his ecosystem, right? So the big challenge, this doesn't have to be you if you're listening, but it's going to be somebody. Trust that. Things will evolve when this 1,000 that I envision, maybe those people are, here would be an example. They host their own space, right? We had that going for a while. We had Jet Doctor hosting a space, Kyle hosting a space. Kyle was a great job of this. His belief was so high that at work, he would tell everyone he knows, and he would literally be doing phone calls. He'd say, dude, my buddy does Dream. You got to get into Dream. Like, listen, I'll put you on a phone call with him. And he was funneling phone calls to me, right? He did that for like 12, 13 people because of his belief in the excitement. But, I mean, maybe it was the loss of focus, right? Got into a little bit of trading, and Kyle's still a great friend of mine. That's no hate or anything like that. But Now he's not with us currently. He's still a holder, but you get beat up out there in the trading game, right? It can be tough. But realize that was someone who was creating. That was some of the pump that was going on in unison with what I was doing. I can be a very strong catalyst. Don't worry. I do have many tricks up my sleeve. I do feel that I can make waves and you all can add to that. So don't worry about that. But if we're thinking about the evolution, this is what empowers us. If you really want to say, man, how do we, if we don't want to doubt or we don't want to second guess or we don't want to whatever, how can we if we're doing everything in our power to make our dream come true, if this really could be that $1 billion vehicle, that's what we want to sell people on. There's so many meme coins. Make your time worthwhile and dream. But this is the one that you want to go all in on because it's actually not a scam. It's actually not a rug, right? Tough things can happen along the way, which they have to us. We got hacked before. That was a real thing. We learned from it. We position so it doesn't happen again. But this is the game. But if it really is real, if we really are not going to get distracted and not fall off during the bear, if it really is a decade thing, then all the efforts are worth it. Stack, stack, stack. This is where your time is invested. Now, if you buy into that, if someone buys into that, it's a risk. It's a risk to buy into this, right? It's a risk for me. Some of the best years of my life. Choosing not to party, not to go out. I say, hey, I have a dream. Think of it on my end, right? Because I have to do a lot of the back end stuff. I'm not cashing out. I don't want to say ever. That could be disingenuous, but I'm going to have the biggest bags. But I'm not necessarily going to receive that like you are, right? That is my fair trade to you. I say, I want the vehicle. I want the community of dreamers. This is what excites me. I want to serve the dreamers of the world. And my trade is to jump on the train and get yourself some tokens along the way and benefit from all those efforts and actions. Okay? I'll just pump the brakes there. There's more to say. I'll pump the brakes there. But I had to put the book down. That's the flow frequency. We talked about the flow state. You guys heard that earlier? The flow state. This is how it happens. When you get aligned and you flirt with the spark and you get aligned with your dream, you tap into this energy that is convincing. You tap in this energy that sells. And I'm not trying to sell. We're not even hard chilling. We're with our own people who already own dream, right? Random strangers are watching us, but who cares? We're just ignoring us. That's okay. This is the Dreamer's Library. This is so Raylan can transform his mind, so Bubba can take some great things and apply it to his community, so Libre can become believer number one, so Nath can transform his mind, his life, get the dream life he wants, right? That's why we're doing this. For the dreamers, for the believers who want to transform their life. Well, we hit that pretty good. Okay, should we move on back to the book? Thought it would be shorter. Went on a rant. Page 54. Truthful living. Top of page 54. More alpha here. Thought, which you permit to reach your mind, whether in the nature of facts or mere information, has a tendency to reproduce itself in action. Shoot, we got to pause again. This is another profound thing. I wrote huge. I posted this as the main post today. So do you understand what this is saying? It's basically saying, again, conscious or subconscious, whatever thoughts you let in there, they're gonna be received. So what that means, the power in that is basically you can lie to your mind. Basically, it doesn't matter if you're telling the truth or you're telling a lie. Either way, the mind will 100 accept that information and then reproduce it into physical reality. So this is how you can break out of the matrix, because remember when we said that everything with my apartment that I'm living in, this studio setup that I have is nice and it's a blessing, but it is the difference between this one and me having a boxed in glass studio with podcast producers and running a salaried mission where I'm paying out $200K a year to all my employees. The difference between this and that is the level of my thinking and the application of said thinking, combined with the focus, combined with all the other tools. I think we'll get there. But understand that your current reality that you're living in, the house that you're in, if you want a bigger house, the car that you drive if you want a nicer car, the girl that you're dating if you want a hotter girlfriend, okay? All of that is not just the cards you were dealt. It's not just your luck. It's not just because you weren't born in America, you were born in Nigeria. So this is what it is. That's how you start. But the way to transform it is from the within. Everything you see on the outside is a reflection of what is within. This is the biggest lesson that I am embracing with all my heart that I'm trying to transform. So now if I'm thinking about this with myself, it's okay, 80% of within is good. The dreams, the beliefs are there 80% of the time. I need to work on this 20% because I need to get myself to 100 to remove the doubt, because when I become full delusion, no doubts, that's when manifestation happens. It's the thoughts and feelings on full blast. So if your mind doesn't care what you put in, truth or lie, what are you putting in? Like what? Think. How to think, right? That's the chapter. What are you putting into your mind? Are you putting limits into your mind? Are you putting realistic, oh man, like I think I could be financially free maybe through Dreamcat, but who am I kidding? I could never make $2 million a year. Well, let's just change the story then. Let's just change the story then, because it's just a script. That's what reality is. You're following a script of what you believe is possible for your life, what ambitions you want to be. Someone said, when I grow up, I want to be in the NBA. And that was the script that they wrote. So they started flirting and like, you can't be in the NBA. You got cut from the 7th grade team. You got cut from the 8th grade team. I don't care. I'm going to train. I'm going to get better. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Like I'm going to the NBA. You're writing the script and you start flirting and you start taking the actions. And even if those are all lies, those are the seeds that you planted in the garden of your mind. You have plucked the weeds out. You're a delusional, crazy person. The seeds that are growing in your mind, they're getting water, they're getting sunlight, and now you got a trunk growing off the top of your head, a massive tree. And those thoughts is what's going to create your reality. That's what he just said. In the long-winded old English, thoughts which you permit to reach your mind, whether in the nature of facts or mere information, truth or random jargon, has a tendency to reproduce itself in bodily action, has a likelihood of being manifested into reality through your actions. The actions that you take day to day are based on the internal thoughts and programs. I don't feel like it. I'm not disciplined enough. I'm really struggling with this in my life, so it's an excuse. That's why I'm not doing this. But when you have a big enough why, you can achieve anyhow. I'm going to tell you something else crazy, because this is where we get deep. I'm going to tell you something else crazy. This is why Dreamers Library is going to be good. This is why eventually it's going to have to go offline, because it's going to be too profound, because this is the kind of stuff that's just too valuable to give away for free. And just to give you more to desire, I do hold out on you guys. Even when I share like max info, there's things that I know that I've never even discussed before that would blow your mind. But I'm still giving you enough to win. But there's deeper things. And if you want to successfully like monetize, which I eventually do, you can't give it all for free. It can't always all be in the Telegram. And this is also why I'm telling you dreamers who are here, while these are free, while you're paying attention, I appreciate you, because you are choosing, you're spending your valuable life frequency here. You're not frequency, you're spending your valuable, time is your life. You're spending your hours of your life, your existence here with me. I honor that, I respect that, and I don't take it for granted. Loud noises up here outside. Fire truck. I don't take that for granted at all. And I want to make it worth your while. I want to give you things that can transform. But if I'm going to monetize, which eventually I want to do, I'm going to have to put more of that energy into the private place. But the reason why it's an advantage for you now is if you actually want to make your dream come true. Like I'm thinking, the thing that comes to mind is a lot of the people who we love from Nigeria or Bangladesh. These are people who have a harder chance to make it. They want to know when the giveaways are. They want to know when they get $25. And what I'm trying to say is, guys, the information is what you need. It'll transform. And when I'm posting out every day in the TG, like even if no one's paying attention, or I'm doing these spaces and 5 dreamers are here, that's the chance, right? Because maybe it goes offline. Maybe, you forget over time. but it will always be there and it'll always be true. But there's levels to the game. So I just want to tease. If I go offline, in the future, maybe that's where even deeper information goes, because I do want to monetize. And that's where my attention will go too. I won't be replying to everyone. It'll go there. So let me say this. I'm going to give you something profound. This is in the spiritual side of things. We're talking about awakening. This is profound information that is extremely, I don't know. Oh, okay. I don't want to ruin anybody's enjoyment of life. If you, I know Libre drinks, let me say this. Use discernment right here. I'm going to give you a little warning. If you really enjoy drinking alcohol and it's a pleasure of your life, there's many, and some people drink all the time and it's all good, then I would just mute this. I would just turn the volume down for 2 minutes, because what I'm about to say, there is no unlearning things, right? There is no unlearning thing. So once you hear it, it could affect you. And I don't want to ruin your own joy. So if someone out there really enjoys drinking, I would encourage you to maybe you just want to sit this one out, but I'm going to say it anyway. And if curiosity gets you, albeit, I'll set you up first so you have a chance to respond. 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, I had a profound realization. About 5 days ago, I decided I'm no longer going to drink anymore. To be fair, I don't really drink much at all anyway. I was always a social drinker. On my little dating profile, it would say sometimes I drink, which means, hey, if we're going to catch up, let's go have a beer. If we're going to go on a date, let's go have a few drinks. That is how I played the game. I wouldn't, whatever. Each own. You can drink as much as you want. That is how I played the game. I have changed it because when you get a big enough why, right? When you have a big enough reason, you do things that you weren't willing to do before. So when the why gets big enough, anything is possible for you. You're like, oh man, I've been smoking for 30 years. Yeah, you just had a kid and you found out if you don't stop smoking, you'll never see him get married. And so you cold turkey quit. Okay? So now I'll share with you why. So this is where you decide to tap out. Well, because when you go to a liquor store, it's called spirits, right? And I was profoundly shown how real the spiritual world is, how your thoughts control it, how your words control it, and how your frequency and your energy is all alive and a real thing. When you drink alcohol, you are making a hole in what is like your auric field, basically, right? So when you're walking around, you have this shield that you walk around with. And the world's so crazy, and some people who are maybe addicted to drugs, if you could just see through a spooky movie, you may see all these ghosts basically following them or something, right? You'd see energies or whatever you imagine in a scary movie. When they say people have demons and stuff, that's a real thing, right? It's energy. That's what it is. So when you get drunk, when you do hard drugs, you open your energy up and you make a sort of shift in the real world where you become accessible to these things, to, let's just call them demons, you could say, okay? Even if you don't believe in that, you could say negative energy, or let me just say it in a way that you could understand. Negative thoughts, depression, anxiety. These are forms. These are forms of what if you thought of them instead of just negative thoughts, you thought of them as a spirit. Yes? So spirits, you're going to the liquor store is spirits, because these these chemicals, what the heck are they? What are they? These, I don't know. I don't know what to call them, but this is what they do. And so I realized how real this was. I realized that by drinking, I would be opening up, exposing myself to negative potential things that could bring me down or change my, wait for it, everything that's important in making your dream come true, frequency, vibration. We're talking more about this in the dream community because this is kind of going with the topic of things, and this is what's attracting people. because this is very, very real. You want to be on the frequency or the vibration of your dream. When you are, through the law of attraction, more like things come to you, more winning opportunities, more investment opportunities, more friends who are lifting you up and are positive, more come to you, right? But when you are at a low vibration, which means maybe if you're drinking a lot, you're in a low vibration. If you're depressed, if you're angry, if you're hateful, if you're revengeful, if you're all of these things, low vibration. This means you are a magnet for more of this thing. But in the real world, not just like in your imagination, not just like, oh, I'm getting more depressed and negative thoughts because I've been down on myself. You don't understand how it actually works. It's all real. That's my profound bomb on you. It's all real. And so I don't want to open that door anymore. I have raised my energy so high that, it's just the world is real for the good or the bad, and I want to protect that. So I changed it. I said, I may not ever drink again in my life. I don't want to drink socially. I want to lay the standard. So if you ever want to get a drink, I'm gonna get a Coca-Cola. I'll still give them a little caffeine, but no more alcohol. So anyway, I didn't mean to ruin anyone's life or anyone's day or anyone's habits. By the way, here's another thing to say too. If you are not, this will only become real to you. You can ignore all of this if you're still living the way you are right now. This will only matter to you if you raise your frequency, because it's happening whether you know it or not. But when you raise your frequency, you become consciously aware of it. So if you're drinking and you're getting these negative thoughts, you may already be exposed to things, but you just don't know. You're like, oh, I had a bad dream. Oh, I don't know. I just had a crazy thought in my head that said, jump off a bridge. You wouldn't do it. Like, whoa, that was just a weird, bad thought. I got to think positive. That's real. You could say that's a spirit. Okay, so don't say I didn't drop life-changing, profound ways of the knowing on you. And by the way, since I found that, I found other people. The people in high society, some don't, because there's like the Hollywood people, but the highest people, they know this stuff to a T. They don't drink any, screw it, we'll say it. People like the Rothschilds, who like have a monopoly on everything in the world, they don't drink alcohol. They do the same thing with food. They won't eat, they ignore pretty much processed sugars, a lot of these things, because the deeper level and understanding of it is like, they know it in and out. It's just deeper knowledge of knowing. So you are here, you're a dreamer, you choose to invest your time, well, at least you have the chance to be exposed to, I guess you could say, the secrets of the world. We're talking about truthful living, the secrets of truthful living, right? Secrets of life and motivation, but even on a deeper level. So hopefully I don't get too weird on you guys. Thanks for sticking with me, because I occasionally like flex weird things, but I'm just a normal person, okay? Just know there's always more out there. I'm trying to backpedal a little bit, because I don't know what people are thinking. I always respond to comments, it makes me know. So you either think, that's totally crazy, or I don't know, whatever. It's just throwing it out there. Okay, we're almost done, as we should be. Hour and 38 minutes, by God. This was a good one, though. This was a good one. We shared some good things here. What to do and how to do it. An after lesson visit. I'm just going to read a little bit out loud. My friend, you have commenced this course, and you're going to complete it, primarily because you want to become a master, and thereby you want to earn all the money you need for your worldly requirements. But by far, the eternal, the biggest, the most stupendous fact that you will get from this course is a clear understanding of this principle that I have just stated. When you get this clearly fixed in your mind, that everything physical or mechanical created by mankind must first be created in thought, you will be mighty near the real source, the real cause of all the power you need with which to accomplish anything you desire. Let me read that one more time. It's about what we just read, right? What we just hammered on. All the stuff. I'm not going to repeat it. When you clearly understand everything we've covered in this chapter today, concentration, focus, subconscious mind, inputs, outputs, all that good stuff, when you fully understand that, that everything physical or mechanical created by mankind must first be created in thought, you will become mighty, invincible. You will be close to the source, the understanding of the world, that the real cause of all the power that you need to make your dream come true, to accomplish any desire, is right there at your fingertips. And now I want to say this too, because every week you say, Zach, you're pulling my leg. Every week with you, there's a new secret. This is the secret. This is the secret. That's the secret. Here's the secret to success. You may need to do this one. You need to make sure you do this one. Oh, so there's 46 things, and I guess that's just too much, and we're never going to make it. Is it me? Is everyone just promoting a secret here and a secret there, and this is the secret, and this is the secret, and feeling is the secret, and all these things? I guess there's a lot of secrets. I guess there's a lot of habits. There's a lot of laws. But what he's saying, though, is profound. It's a piece of the puzzle. It is a piece of the puzzle. Thought is everything. Think and grow rich, thoughts and things. That is a principle-based thing. If you understand it, though, this is what's exciting, though, for some of you out there who like, I shout out the people who I know don't have a lot of funds, and they want to change their whole life. For those, it literally says, you can accomplish anything you desire if you apply. This is what I believe. This is why I believe that the dreams that we profess will come true, because I believe in these principles. I know they work. All I have to do is follow them with all the right things, right? You need a proper vehicle. You need to be compounding consistency. You can't be doing the wrong things. It's got to be timing. You got to have something profound. Okay? Almost done. Let's see. Give the boys and girls a break when they leave school, sending them away with a reasonable knowledge concerning the most powerful influence that they have, their own minds. You will soon see the wealth of the world distribute itself so evenly that it will not be possible for some of us to starve to death amid plenty while others revel in overabundance. Your mind and the thoughts that enter are what create wealth. Your mind and the thoughts that enter are what create wealth. So the idea here is it's not the ticker like everyone thinks. It's reverse, right? It is a frequency, a mindset, a vibration before anything. And so this is what we're learning. You feel the dream first is complete, visualize it. This is what I'm trying to do right now. So like when something big happens to me, it's because of that. That's what I'm working on mastering. Just being transparent with you. Instead of dividing up the wealth of the world, distribute the intelligence through which wealth is created, and it will stay distributed. So it says right here, give everyone the knowledge. We're doing that here in Dreamers Library for now. Whoever wants it can get it. Final quote, and that's it. It's very wordy, but I'm going to read it to you anyway. You may be wealthy for all I know. That isn't success. You may have a splendid education for all I know. Maybe you got your master's, your bachelor's, but that isn't success either. You may have wealthy parents, but that is also not success. You must remember that wealth, as measured in dollars and cents, is an evasive thing which sometimes takes wings and flies away. The only real, permanent, and worthwhile success is represented by the character you are building. Holy buckets. Is it all making sense now? Sheesh. The only real permanent, the ticker comes and goes. Money comes and goes. Mooning happens and money comes and money goes away. You get hacked, you go bankrupt, you get a divorce. Some of those people I read about. P.T. Barnum. I made that. Oh, let me show you guys my post. It's cool. So this is kind of, actually, maybe I could just share it with you guys for fun. This is like a friendly, like fun thing. This is like a personal person, not as like, just in the Dreamers Library friends, you know what I mean? P.T. Barnum, who is responsible for Barnum and Bailey Circus, the greatest showman in the world. He had this happen multiple times. He made an empire and it burnt down. Fires used to be super common. This happened 2 times. So he went from 0 to hero and then he got it all back. So if a lot of people here, the crypto millionaires that you see, you're like, man, I don't really want to buy in this long-term stuff. I've seen people become the million and they lose the million because they never became the man or woman. They never built the principles to hold the money, to grow the money, It came to them in 24 hours by doing nothing, just aping in on a whim, and luck did find them. But for sustainable, successful life, if you want to be independent of the ticker, the crypto bull run, by the way, the crypto opportunity will not always be the same. Maybe you make it in this one if you're holding Dream. I think that's a good long-term investment, just like the Goliaths. But if you, let's say you miss the bull run opportunities, you miss the crypto waves. What we're experiencing here, this is why I say I think this is going to be the last like crazy chance to make big money right here, because regulation's coming. When regulation comes and no longer can there be 10,000 runners, what are all those people going to do? Well, they're probably going to be forced to adopt and buy into real things, or they're going to say, oh my gosh, this is dumb. I over a year, I only made 50% gains. This is dumb. I need to find the next best thing. Then they will spend their entire life chasing the next wave because they got money so quick and it ruined them. I'm not going to punish you if you make money quick. I hope you do. But what I would tell you is, what he's saying is the principles last a lifetime. The reason I want you to learn the principles is because if you never, like, I'm going to pick on Nate some more. I know he logged off. It's late where he's at. But Nate always jokes because he shows up, he's in our chat, he talks, he hangs out, and I always ask him, dude, you're always here? Like, how much Dream do you have? 10,000, 20,000, 100,000? He said 0. I said, you have 0 Dream, and you're coming here. You're just coming here to hang out? Like, bro, you've seen it. You've been here since week 1 he found us. He found us before Libre found us. Nate was here. He found us on accident from a random tweet. And he still has no Dream. Gone up, gone down. Then, man, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. So what I'm telling you is if you're Nate and you're here and you have no Dream, well, your time's not actually wasted, because if you learn and adopt these principles, the power that we're giving you is you are not reliant on the bull market anymore. When you have the principles, when you're leveraging how to think, when you're leveraging what the 5% do, when the 95% don't, the 95% react, the 5% create because they're thinking. When you do that, you're free. You are free to create from yourself, to become your own man, to become your own woman. You don't need the ticker. You are the ticker then, okay? Literally. And this is how I'm living, by the way. Notice I have cats. There's ways to make my money, but I'm not a prisoner to any of these. I don't need to limit if I don't make it this bull cycle, I'm still going to make my dreams come true. I'll still get the money. But I believe that crypto is the most feasible, best vehicle. I've already been locking in for 5 years. I know a lot. It's the best vehicle. I would recommend it to anyone. It's just a great time to be, especially in memes. I think you can do for memes what you did for XRP, Solana, Bitcoin, ETH. If you rewind and look at those, if you invested 10 years ago and held for 10 years, you'd win big. If you do that in memes, it's a huge risk because most of them, like 99.5%, will go to zero. I don't think Dream is one of those memes. So it's a greatest thing, because if you just believe me on that part, you can buy for super cheap and hold, because we don't have enough proof yet. But if you wanted more proof, something I would think of is like SPX 6900. At least it has a good chance because the belief is so big. And by the way, what makes a meme great? What makes a meme great? What makes a meme have the probability to go to billions? The vision that's cast. So the reason why I'm talking about SPX is because Murad has done a good job casting a huge vision. He already had power, so he was able to get a lot of people in the traditional way. It went all the way up to 2 billion, and it's all the way down to 250 million. It retraced because it was still using the traditional pump metrics. But there's something special that he's doing, and that's why I'm buying it, is because he's building it based on belief. If he quits, then, I mean, he's the core. Maybe it still continues, but it wouldn't be the same. But the big thing is if he doesn't. If he does what I'm talking about here, which I think, and hopefully I can earn my keep and be in a conversation with Murad and be someone who's right in that conversation, because I build up properly and Dream gets talked about at a big level and people backtrack everything, then what was I even getting at? Then nothing. Basically, he's built it on belief. He's painted a huge vision. So he's painted, SPX will flip the stock market. It'll be one of the biggest memes in the world. It can be 100 billion. Because that vision is cast, the thought process can say, well, it's a good risk to be a decade-long meme. If I'm buying at 200 million, he's casting 100 billion, $1 trillion meme. Well, gosh, if it goes to 50 billion market cap, I'll be doing great. And so this is what I'm trying to tell you is now I'm just talking. I think this is how you can win in this, what's presented to us is I'm trying to say, I want to take some of my memes offline. I don't want to sell. I won't sell. The only one that I'm fully sure on is SPX 6900. I won't sell it this cycle. I'm going to hold it for 10 years. That was the mistake I made that maybe you can learn from. I did this whole cycle thing. Now I don't have my monumentous bag of XRP anymore. Now if I want to buy it, it's 2.5 times the price. My opportunity cost is out the door. Now I would need like way more money to get back what I had before. So now I just have to try to get way more money to catch back up, or hope it goes back down and be positioned to invest as much as I had before. I had way more. All I had to do was hold. See, it's so hard. It's so hard when you're trying to make it. So SPX, I will hold that this entire cycle. I'm gonna take it offline. I won't sell it. I hope that dream can be that one for you. I hope that we can make you believe so big that you find other ways to get your instant moon money, right? Because maybe you think like, how many bags do you have that can create what you want for you? Like how many wild cards do you have that could realistically make you like 500K that you could extract right away, right? You're welcome to do that. You can. But I'm just swinging for the fences. Like I'm the person who says, yeah, you can be up on 100x on Bitcoin, but in the end it did 100,000x. And so because I'm trying to really make money in crypto, I realized that if I was able to be aware and do that for XRP, Solana, Bitcoin, all you had to do was hold. It would have gone up, it would have gone down. But if you believed in the future, then you'd be good. You still have that opportunity now. Hundreds of millions of people are going to, billions of people are going to buy Solana today, hold it for just like a stock. You don't want to think about 30 years. I know you don't. You don't want to think about 20 years. You don't want to think about 30 years. No one's going to talk about this. We think about the now, get rich now. We can still do this. I still have plays that I think could make me $1 million off my 1,000. I do. It could still happen. It may. But you don't want to think this way, but just do it. Every person, it's so crazy because people are willing to work their job for 55 years, and that's not too long. But 4 years or 10 years is. And in the process, they're going to make a goal to try to retire. They're going to make a goal to, they're going to have 401ks, they're going to have some kind of investing that goes in the stock market or ETF or mutual funds. They want to do these things. They want to do these things, and they're going to do these things anyway. Crypto, no, it's not get rich now. I'm not going to do it. So have the foresight to say, and this becomes easier once you get flexible money, right? If you're totally struggling and you're like, this is my escape route, I get it. That was me in 2021, and I did it. I sold my bags, and I took my money, and it gave me freedom to not have to work and do things. So, but what I'm thinking about now deeply is think for decades. Think for decades. So I'm thinking this with alts now. I don't want to sell them immediately. This was my mistake. So everything I'm buying now is to hold for the long term. But there are things I still plan to trade, and that is, maybe 80% of my cats. Those are short term because they're just based on the trend. So you decide, you pick. But if you're here, man, you have a good idea and dream. Let me show you my cool post. This is just me, just sharing with you guys because you guys are my friends. So like, who else would I share this with? So I'm online, I'm talking, like this is what I do. So I just want to share this with, I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool edit. I just want to share it with you guys and do a little, story time because it's cool. All right, check it out. So this is my super cool, if you're on the Genie, please just drop this cool image of like. This is what AI is doing. Now I'm getting to Iggy's level. Look at this bad boy. Wow. Isn't that incredible? I could just see like, I'm trying to experiment with other AIs to figure out what I want. And I was supposed to get this AI to be able to do video cloaking for Dream, but instead I've been playing with stuff like this. This is an amazing edit. Like the power of AI is just crazy. This is A1 content. Whoever's, not messing with AI, I can totally see how they're behind. This is incredible. So I made this bad boy earlier. Awesome backgrounds, just awesome. Eye-popping, stimulating content, hard to compete. But I want to share this post with you. because I thought it was cool. And also, since you are a dream investor, it's good to know what influences are behind the dream, behind Dreamcat, right? Because obviously, I'm the main person who's going to cast the vision. So, what's going into my mind? We talked about inputs and outputs. Maybe it's good for you to know what I'm thinking, what I'm programming in, what I'm downloading. So, I made this mega long post, and I'll just read it to you. The ever-changing cast of influence. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to tell you in real world, okay? In your life, this is bonus content. Let's be here so I can clip it because I might say something really good. All right, get a water too. Raylan says he drinks non-alcoholic beer. I actually remember you saying that. That's actually you're ahead of the game then. I never really loved alcohol, but I'll be honest, it was a great social tool. Like it would get me loose. I'm not a super active dancer, but if I would drink, I'd get loosey-goosey. I'd be able to dance or something. So if I'm trying to like flirt with a girl or something, I'd want alcohol in me. So this is gonna make life harder, but I just know too much now. I just can't. So, all right. I'd love to make a clip about this. So the 4 people on this screen are the people in this world that have inspired me in my journey so far. When you come to Earth, it is your playground. Earth is your playground. You come as a human being, you're born as a baby, but deep down, eventually in life, you'll come seeking your purpose. What am I supposed to do? What's my dream? What's my purpose in life? Like, where am I supposed to apply myself? What's calling me? Like, what am I supposed to do? And what's so great about Earth is it presents you all of these things to help you find it. It gives you beautiful oceans. It gives you waterfalls. You could climb Mount Everest and think amazing things or be inspired. You could go through a jungle. Music like Beethoven and Mozart or maybe Eminem. You say, man, when he just raps, I just feel I feel the energy, right? I feel the excitement. Or when Mozart's playing, I just feel the music and it's so peaceful. You could play an instrument yourself. You could try a bite of pizza or a chocolate chip cookie and say, wow, this is what Earth's all about. I want to be a chef. I want to be a food critique and just spend every day of my life enjoying the tastes of food. Some people get engulfed in religion, right? They say, man, I just love praising God. I love going to church. I want to be a preacher. One of our dreamers wants to be a preacher. Adiyami wants to be a preacher. So that's my point. On Earth, you're exposed to all these things, and you get to check them out, explore them, and let them shape you on your journey. On a deeper note, I've also learned, I'm talking about all the spiritual stuff, that is something that I choose to believe, that's not that crazy, is I believe that before you were born, when you were still a soul, you weren't just like a mindless baby like you think. The baby is the creation, but you, the true you, is the soul, right? And energy never dies. So like that's who you really are, is you're the soul. This is just the meat suit, right? I was once a baby and the baby didn't know anything. It was brand new. But the soul knows things. So I choose to believe that before I was born, I was given a glimpse. This is what I've read basically, is that before you're born, you know the assignment. This is why I tell you that you think you don't have a purpose. You do, unless you're an NPC and you're literally not a human or something. Otherwise, you totally do. You have a mission to come on Earth. But like the whole thing with Earth is that you forget what it is. And so I believe that you're showing what you're going to do, you're showing what you're supposed to do. And what is true is you are given a blueprint of someone that can inspire you and serve you on your journey. So basically it's like, okay, I'm up. Let's just pretend I'm up in heaven or something. And I'm like, man, I want to be in the NBA someday. Like, what do you guys got up here in heaven? What do you guys got in the NBA? Oh, you want to know Michael Jordan, right? I was born during one of Michael Jordan's NBA championship runs. You want to know about Michael Jordan. Here, we're just going to put the Michael Jordan file in your mind. Here's Michael Jordan's characteristics, what he loves, and like you can rely on this. Like you can channel that Michael Jordan like competitiveness and drive, right? That's just a little something I choose to believe. So bear with me. So I believe that you have that main exposure, that person. And I tell you all that to say that I am beginning to believe that that person for me was and is Walt Disney. because as I'm progressing in my life and getting closer to my purpose and my dream, it's jumping off the page. I am magnetically drawn. Some people hate them, some people don't like them. They talk about this conspiracy and that. I don't really care. When I go places, when I look at the museum, when I listen to the journey, it's like that's me. Like that's me. That's just that dreamer, that creator, that Imagineer. He was the first at like 3 or 4 different things in his career, right? Maybe I'm not going to make movies, or I don't know if I'm going to make a theme park, but like for what he did, he innovated in his space. So when he made movies and animation, he was the first to use color. He was the first to use sound. I said, hey, here I am, the first visionary to take the dream and apply it to crypto, right? I have a similar playing field that Walt had. He had sound and color and the transformation of cartoon animation inside of movies. And I have crypto and AI, 2 new sexy vehicles that are new that we can fully dive into and be the first. So I'm looking at that and I'm deeply drawn to the Walt. But I want to take you back and just share it. These are the 4 people in my life. I started thinking about this, who have impacted me. The people who weren't my mother, my father, or a friend or a coach. They're basically famous people, faces, big successful people who shaped a season of my life. The first that I ever had, I think. And you'd say like, oh, you don't have Jesus on this list. And like, I mean, I would say I'm probably captivated by the Matrix. Like, obviously, like I went to church and things, and that's big. But the way I see it, this would be the 4. Eminem, age 8. One of my aunts gave me burned CDs. They all listen. My environment affected me, right? Other side of my family, they all listen to that, you know, Eminem and stuff. And they're like, here, you're going to like the CDs. And that was like negative brainwashing. Like, I shouldn't listen to Eminem at 8. Now that I understand what he's saying, I was like, holy crap, that's subconsciously programming me negative. Got Eminem CDs. I got a poster. I tried to dress like him. I wore jerseys everywhere where I lived. I was like the white guy who didn't fit in, right? But I was like Eminem. I dressed like him in body. I have both my ears pierced, if you could believe that. That was an image, okay? That was like 8 to 13. I didn't have my ears pierced then, but 8 to 13. That was like, oh my gosh, like Eminem's so cool. Like, he's just so cool. Then I was like, nah, never mind. Then it was Michael Jordan, 13 to age 25. Basketball was a whole passion of my life. I love basketball with all my heart. It was my dream for a while. A great season of my life. I don't regret it. I love it. It served me. It was passion. I journey. I learned things. Amazing. From 20, then when I moved at age 25, all the Michael Jordan stuff came down off the wall. Right? It's kind of like Toy Story. If you guys have seen Toy Story, at first he's got all the cowboy stuff up. He's got Woody. He's got Woody's Roundup, Cowboys, and then he gets the Buzz Lightyear toy, and they play that song. It's like strange things are happening to me. And cowboy stuff comes down and the Space Ranger stuff comes up because it's a transformation and a growth in his life and his journey and who he's becoming. Andy, eventually, they get dual love, but that happened too. I said, man, the basketball era is over. I'm letting go of basketball and I'm moving into entrepreneurship. And now I'm more drawn to my dreams and what inspires me. And so from 25 to how old I am right now, 32, Walt Disney has been that lead one, and it's got stronger and stronger and stronger, and it's the strongest it's ever been now. But the reason I made this post, the reason I'm talking about it is because 3 days ago, I added a new person without removing Walt Disney. And it's really exciting for me. And this is why I am finding joy in life. When you say, man, GM, how are you doing? I'm saying I'm doing good. I'm high on life. It's because I'm flirting with my dream. And it feels like I'm winning, even if my bank doesn't go up or, nothing crazy changed. It feels like I'm winning. So P.T. Barnum, that is the new guy that I was exposed to 3 days ago. He's written 4 books himself, so I can steal all of his information. And what is he? He is the person who is behind attention. So for the dream, Walt, he teaches us how to dream. He imagines big. I like going to theme parks to see how they capture all that attention, how they bring in big crowds. What's so special about Mickey Mouse, right? Mickey Mouse is an empire. How can Dreamcat, Cat vs. Mouse, how can we make dream? What makes people so culty at Walt Disney World? Why do they buy all the merch? Can we learn something about Mickey Mouse and apply it to dream? Okay, you can see that's why I'm so involved. And so now that's one skill, one line of thinking that can serve us. But P.T. Barnum, he says, I'm going to teach you how to capture the attention of the world. He's a master of attention grabbing. And he did it through museums and sometimes even hoaxes and things that weren't as sexy or flashy, but his house was crazy. His house was modeled after Iran. He had a mansion with spires on it. And he also helped the Barnum and Bailey Circus. I went to that circus when I was 7 years old, but it didn't mean anything to me yet. But I went to it, and then it turned off. 2017 to 2023, they canceled it. It's like 200-year-old circus. He was the person who revolutionized the circus by packaging. How he packaged it. Let's put them on trains. Let's make the elephant a big hit. Let's make the tigers jump through fire. He packaged it better to bring mass attention and appeal, and he has taught us. I can take his 60 years of life, and in 1 week, I can learn the greatest lessons that he had, and I can cheat time. So now I shared all that to say, just on a side note here, this is kind of like, would be like a dream talk thing, but what's going into the mind of the DreamCat vision? Well, I mean, to me, these are good things. Two of the biggest role models are how to captivate attention on a mass scale. The biggest, like he was like in the 1800s, 18 whatever to like 1888, he was that guy. He wasn't even on my radar. There's a movie called The Greatest Showman. Don't watch it. Well, watch it. I've never seen it, believe it or not. I've actually never seen it. I've heard people talk about it. It just didn't resonate with me. Now it does, because I have newfound information. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a movie. It's on Disney Plus. I got to watch it soon and get more insight on the story. So yeah, I just want to share that cool post. And I wondered if you guys, I've asked if you want to go reply to that post, you can. If you want to talk about it in the chat, you can. If you don't want to say anything, cool. I wondered out loud if anyone else has this in their life. Have you thought about it? Are there role models or like mentors or people who inspired you, who you looked up to at a certain point in your life? And it may just be like, maybe you're not it's all about your dream, but you're like, man, Elvis was my favorite dude, and just everything about Elvis. Like, I'm a fan. I want to be like Elvis. I was curious if other people had these, if you had someone that like shapes your life. And I was just reflecting and thinking, wow, yeah, there was Michael Jordan, there was Eminem. And for me, these are two, like Elon's cool, Andy Frisella's cool, but they're not like, it's just deeper. It's at a deeper level who you can learn from. So I think it's good people to have backing up the dream, good people to learn from, exciting to learn, exciting to dream. But dreamers, I think that's really what I got for you guys. Another Dreamers Library. I think it was slow. Then I think we caught wind. I think we dropped some profoundness. Looking at that. Okay. So that's the most of what I got for Dreamers Library. I'm going to give away a few. Let's see if we have anything more on X to retweet, shout out. I'm going to give away a few of the rewards. Let's see. I'm just going to give some micro rewards to anyone who didn't get any. So I'm going to give like just small today. I'm going to give 250 to Bubba and Raylan as well. Just some light dream today. Sometimes it's millions. One time it was 30K. All right, cool. All right, I'll see you guys on X. I'm going to, let's see these giveaways in the chat. Actually, I don't need to do that. Let me close it down. I had an amazing Dreamers Library with you all. Thanks for showing up and listening. I hope you learned something. I hope it stretched your mind. I hope you continue to learn and show up. What can you expect next week? You can expect, I believe it's imagination. Some chapters may be better than others. Must listens versus sometimes listens. Next is imagination. I'm fairly certain. All right, dreamers, toodaloo. Peace, love, and all the good stuff. Sweet dreams.
That'll do it, guys. I just want to take a moment to send my gratitude. Thank you to all the dreamers who show up here, who support, who dream with us. I want to remind you that the mission here is not just meme coinery and, hey, come show up and waste your time. We're on a mission here. You may not understand it yet. You may not fathom or dream this big yet, but we are here to build the largest community of dreamers in the world. Laugh if you need to. Get it out of your system. All dreamers start somewhere, and it starts with a vision. What I love about the world, what I love about actually meme coins especially, is that belief is the main character. Belief is the main source of everything. It all comes down to belief. And that is what we are building the dream on. Matter of fact, if you know about the book Think and Grow Rich, it's in here. We talk about desire and consistency and compounding and all these things. We're building this mission on laws and principles that have been universal and conclusive for decades. We're building Dream in a way that has never been done before. We are a first mover, planting our flag in the space with full respect to the builders and the degens and everyone else who's built out this space. We're coming here as a newbie, as a first mover, and we're doing the opposite of everything you've ever seen. Our market cap may vary, our holders may vary, our volume may not be that sexy, but if you're hearing this message, you have a chance. You have a chance to watch the quantum leaps of improvement, step by step, moment by moment. It's revealed to you how the dream can change the world, how we can go from 2 believers to 10 to 1,000 to 2 to, and as it goes on and on, the dream becomes more and more undeniable. You know, there's actually 3 specific things that we're going to do that set us apart. And that's this. Number 1, we're building on unshakable belief. Belief is everything. Some use it. Murad uses a little bit, but we're using it at a level never before seen. We are giving you reasons to believe. We are showing in our consistency, stacking. Okay, number 1. Number 2, massive action plans. Some people have done them. Print out flyers, dress up in a chicken suit, go crazy. I've done these before. They make dreams come true. I've done them going 60%, 70% in. What could it look like if we go all in? What could it look like if 1,000 dreamers participate in massive action plans? I see a future that is undeniable, that is unstoppable. Why? Because the ticker is golden. It's dream. It's universal. It beats time. It goes for any sex, any religion. Everyone has a dream. But guess what? 97% of those people aren't going to see it come to pass. They don't have what it takes. They're not willing to go the distance, which is why so many have come to the dream and left. Because for most, seeing is believing. But if you're listening to this message now, there's a very good chance that you happen to be a visionary, or luck has found you and you are in the right place at the right time. It would be criminal of me not to encourage you to take a look at Dream, use your best judgment, and consider buying a bag. When you paint a vision so vast as building the largest community of the dreamers in the world, doing the opposite, being a first mover, building Dream as a mascot. Did you know that that's who Dream is? Dream is a mascot. He doesn't maybe have a meme. He's not one of these OG cat memes that everyone truly loves. He isn't known yet, but he's becoming known here, the most successful cat in the world. This is a community where dreams become reality. This is a community, when it's all said and done, where you can come chase this dream together with us while simultaneously chasing your own. And to be very blunt and clear, that is exactly what I am doing in real time. And I believe that if I'm able to make my dream come true within the Dream Cat community, well, Dream is a part of that dream. And so it's like a vision on top of a vision on top of a vision. But with success, which of course I believe in myself, I do, Dream will become maybe even more than what we envisioned it to be. It's simple concepts, brick by brick, compounding consistency, 1 to 2 to 8 to 16, 32. I skipped a bunch of numbers, 120 something, stack. We appreciate you being here. We simply want to remind you of our intentions. We simply want to remind you to tap into your dream. We want to remind you to wake up, stop chasing. Perhaps the time of chasing runners is over. Perhaps a season of builders is coming. And when it comes, I don't want you to be late to the party. No one is building like Dream. Dream does not have a ceiling. If you want to investigate this yourself, I encourage you to go over to the website, dreamcat.xyz, and take a look with your own eyes. Most will not. When they hear about the dream, they look at the volume, they look at the chart, they dismiss it, and they keep going. 1,000 believers, it's just math. In this 54-page PDF, we tell you reason after reason, specifically why Dream can change the game, why it's a mascot of tomorrow. We explain why I'm in Orlando, right? Why I'm here. It's for the dream. Check it out. Take a look. Do your own research. Buy, don't buy. We're indifferent. It's good either way. What we really want is for you to chase your dream and make it come true. And if you can do that and you don't buy a single token, we will win. Thank you guys for hanging with us. We hope to see you next week, every single Thursday, 7 p.m. EST. Next week, invite in a friend. Retweet it out. Share it. Are you really a dreamer? Why is your PFP a dog when it could be Dreamcat? Shout out to the dog. Shout out to my friends. Fine. Thank you guys. Take care. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.